it's Mr. J, feeling a little serene today. You're used to me with gadgets and gizmos all over the place, but today, a little more relaxed. Why? Well, Mr. J has fallen in love with poetry. How to read a poem and fall in love with poetry. Now, you might be saying, poetry, that's for sissies, I don't dig that, that's not my scene. I'll bet you $10. I'll bet you $10 you might even have some poetry on you right now. Seriously, quite frankly, look, I bet you do. If you got $10, take it out of your pocket, put it right down there. If you got $10, you're in on the bet. And you know what, actually, you do have a poem on you right now, if you have $10, because on the back of this is In Flanders Fields, one of the most solemn and beautiful war poems ever written. It's on the back of our Canadian $10 bill. So you carry poetry on you all the time. You like rap music? That's poetry in a different form. Poetry can be many, many different things. One of the things I discovered was this cool book here, Poetry Speaks. It's got CDs of all kinds of poets. In fact, some of them date back to the 1880s. They had recordings of their voices on wax cylinders. Very scratchy, but very cool. You see, some of you know me as a magician, Mr. J, traveling around the Maritimes performing. The real magic is the quiet magic that resides in some of these dusty old books. Crack one open. There's a whole history of poetry, and it can mean all kinds of different things. From the bard, William Shakespeare himself, to Milton, author of Paradise Lost. Did you know he actually wrote that while he was blind? He was blind when he wrote Paradise Lost. And your journey of poetry, whatever book you decide to partake in, you may discover the mystical, mysterious William Blake, or of course, Lord Byron, the rock star party animal that he was. Emily Dickinson, who lived her life in isolation like a hermit. Or the torrid romantic poets drawn together like magnets like Ted Hughes and Sylvia Plath. Or of course, Elizabeth Barrett Browning and Robert Browning. Great, great love stories there. Of course, I would recommend to you this book by, of all people, John Lithgow. He's compiled a great, great bunch of poems here. Let me just give you some quotes from well, this isn't from a poem, this is from William Blake, a great poet we just talked about. I must create a system or be enslaved by another man's. I will not reason and compare. My business is to create. And also, W.H. Auden, why do you want to write poetry? If the young person answers, I have important things I want to say, then he is not a poet. If he answers, I like hanging around words, listening to what they say, then maybe he's going to be a poet. That's W.H. Auden. See, poetry is a celebration of words. Emily Dickinson said, if I read a book and it makes my whole body so cold no fire can ever warm me, I know that is poetry. And for those that still think poetry is for sissies, check these guys out. This is Iron Maiden, and some of their best songs are from poems. Whoops! Oh my gosh, I can't even hold them, I'm so scared. That's Eddie. And Samuel Taylor Coleridge's Rime of the Ancient Mariner is one of their biggest songs. And would you call that guy a sissy? I wouldn't, not to his face anyway.